It's a very special day today, and of course the weather has been very special today for us too, at -20. I'd like to first call upon the Warden of the County, Linda Thompson, to bring greetings.
Thank you. It's wonderful to be here and to welcome everyone on such a lovely day. As you noted, it's great that everyone was able to come out in this cold weather. Everybody's vehicle started and we were able to have a fabulous morning with everyone here. On behalf of County Council, a number of our council members are here. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. And I want you to know how pleased and excited we are about playing host to the 2014 Ontario ParaSport Games. County Council is in full support of the efforts, but what's more important, we are so excited and so thankful for all of the volunteers who are here and who are truly making this happen. A big round of applause for all of the volunteers. I know everyone's really excited to learn the details, so I won't take up any more. We're really looking forward to a great kickoff, and we know there's lots of work to do, and thank everyone for all of the support that they're bringing forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Warden. It is indeed a pleasure to be here today and have the opportunity to bring to you, I guess, the moment that we've all been waiting for since we started so long ago, this process. Today we're going to unveil the list of medal sports and venues for the 2014 Ontario ParaSport Games in Northumberland County. So let's get right to it. Hundreds of athletes are going to compete in 8 medal events from May 30th to June 1st at several locations throughout the county. Now, this is the first major sports attraction ever held in Northumberland. The events are a mix of the familiar parasport events and 3 new ones. The new ones are handcycling, blind golf, and amputee golf. They are making their debut at these Ontario ParaSport Games. Those 3 up-and-coming parasport events will join the 5 traditional medal competitions on the Games roster. And that is, of course, with no surprise, sledge hockey, wheelchair basketball, wheelchair rugby, boccia, and para-equestrian. The Ontario Games, initiated in 1975, followed changing trends in parasport. We want to keep them fresh and relevant to the competitors. After all, the athletes are what these games are all about. We know spectators are in for some wonderful experiences from these games. And we're even adding a few surprise attractions to the agenda. For example, during Games Week, we are bringing in the national level, or Canadian national, para-athletes. And they will participate in several training camps here in Northumberland. And everyone will be able to see athletes at the national level either being chosen or competing among themselves for positions, both at the Pan-American ParaSport Games next year, and also for the Games in Rio the following year. So it's going to be very interesting. So far we have 3 camps confirmed, and what I'm announcing today are those things that are absolutely confirmed. Yes, there are other things that they're still floating about, but these are absolutely confirmed. We will be having 3 camps, 1 sitting volleyball, which will be in Cobourg, paracycling, which will be in Brighton and Colborne, and soccer in Port Hope. So all of those will be Canadian national camps, and they'll be on during the same week. Now, back to the Ontario ParaSport Games medal sports. The sledge hockey will be held at the Cobourg Community Centre. The wheelchair basketball will be at East Northumberland Secondary School and Cobourg Community Centre. Wheelchair rugby will be at St. Mary's Catholic Secondary School in Coburg, and boccia will be in the Town Park Recreation Centre in Port Hope. Blind golf and amputee golf will both be scheduled at Dalewood Golf and Country Club in Hamilton Township. And the para-equestrian events will be at Maplewood Stables, which is just on the edge of the town of Coburg, but it's technically situated in Hamilton Township. And the handcycling will be in Colburn and Brighton, with the Keeler Centre as the main staging area. Now, I suppose, in reflecting, a few of you may wonder why sports such as swimming and track and field aren't in the ParaSport Games this year. I can assure you it wasn't for lack of trying and effort on our part, but of that I can assure you. But at the end of the day, the athletes, their organizations, and Sports Alliance Ontario, which is the provincial sports development agency, make the final call, not our local games organizing committee. As for the locations, we've tried to share the games across the county as much as possible. There are constraints, however, and some of the venues have to be, well, all of the venues really have to be fully accessible for the athletes and the spectators alike, and they must be located within a 30-minute ride from the athletes' villages. And now, we have a special treat for you. When we won the right to host these games, we were determined to honor our chosen theme, which was raising the bar together. Our goal as Games host is to put a human face on the Ontario ParaSport Games to an extent that has never been attempted before, where, in this case, as it should always be, the athletes come first. So we commissioned a series of para-athlete videos. The first 6 appear today on our Games website. That's 2014 numerically, parasportgames.ca. They're the work of Coburg filmmaker Chris Oliver and Games coordinator Carrie Spry. I've watched them and they are inspiring. In these videos you'll meet a group of extraordinary athletes, all of whom either by circumstances of birth or, as we know, by accident, have a disability to overcome. They speak candidly about those things, but yet they define themselves by their ability, not by their disability. Well-spoken and insightful, they speak about the joy of competition and their personal goals, including national and international competitions such as I mentioned earlier, the Pan-American Games and the opportunity to compete in the Olympics as well. This morning, I'd like to take this opportunity to show you just one of our videos. After that, I'll be pleased to answer any questions. So, the first video is of a gentleman by the name of Alex Hinman, a hand cyclist with a story to tell and big dreams for the future. Could we roll the video?
I woke up early one morning to go to work. I fell asleep at the wheel and I was ejected out of the driver's seat window when the car rolled on top of me, which broke my back. I was looking to get back into the regular routine that I had before I was injured, so getting into hand cycling was pretty much the closest thing to working out. I'm in a better place now than what I was before the accident. I had a lot of doors shut when I lost the use of my legs. Twice as many doors as open now. We have our legs strapped in because some of us have spasms in our legs, so you don't want to be going 30 kilometers an hour and your legs pop out. And then the bike is pivoted in the middle. Because we don't have the use of our legs, we kind of push ourselves even more. But my main goal is Rio in 2016, and if not, then Tokyo in 2020.
Please do take the opportunity to go on the website and check out the other 5 videos that we currently have that are up as of today. It really is inspiring, and the other one that was memorable to me was the para-equestrian. Again, an amazing story of recovery and the way in which one has been able to prove themselves and make the best of their lives that they possibly can in a very competitive way. So I would be very pleased to take any questions if you have any. By the way, all of the people wearing scarves are on the committee today. We're not just all cold together. Yes?
Paul, I wonder if you could just elaborate a little bit about why the aquatic competition is not going to be part of what we have today.
Well, I guess the simple answer is we don't have control over that, or it would be here. I think the reality is that we have a lot of competing interests out there. And right now, what you will find is the aquatic group has merged to some extent with the able-bodied. And they also have a meet scheduled, I think a major meet in Montreal on the same weekend that this was, and they'd established that before we could convince them otherwise. I think for all of us, we love to see people in competition, and we love to see them competing, able-bodied, and those who have other difficulties that they have to overcome, where they can compete together. We'd love to have them here. I'm not saying that there won't be a potential to have something along that line here yet, but at this moment I cannot confirm any such thing, and basically we're just working on the principle of what was capable of being done is being done. We're going to bring in the best performers that we can. And what you do come to learn is that each individual sport has its own sports organization or many facets within it. In other words, sometimes you'll find more than one sports organization representing a particular group across this province. And so it is very difficult from time to time, as you realize, when you're dealing with people who have disabled challenges. The groups sometimes are quite desperate, where they may be in North Bay or they might be down in Cornwall. And the bottom line is some groups, some years, are much more together in their organization and are able to bring themselves together and compete. Because there is a rigorous program that each individual group has to go through in order to have Sports Alliance Ontario approval. And until they go through that process and meet all the standards, it's not going to be approved. So yes, there are issues, and I think you can understand those issues. Any other questions? Yes, Rick.
Paul, how many potential athletes are we expecting into Northumberland County? Or is that a question that you can't answer?
Well, I can't answer exactly, but I think we're in the order of 300, something like that. And there'll be more, including their managers, coaches, and so forth. And I think on the national teams, if I recall, in the order of 60 actual athletes, I think, plus other people in support and coaches and so forth. So, I mean, we're getting the numbers up there. It's going to tax, in many ways, our ability to accommodate the athletes well. We certainly want to give our best show that we can to them. And we think we've got it organized, and we think we're going to do very well. And I have every confidence, of course, that our committees are doing their work, and we'll bring it all to fruition. At the end of it all, we're really looking at this, I suppose, in many ways. One of the legacies may well be if you start bringing national camps into the area, and they find that we're all very accepting and very supportive. I think we're going to see a lot more national camps come in, whether or not we're hosting the Ontario ParaSport Games. So I think it's a real opportunity for us to demonstrate our capacity to not only come out and support them, but I think to be able to accommodate and do other things with them. I think it'll be wonderful. And a lot of the national athletes have specifically asked to come to the opening ceremonies, which is going to be another announcement in due course. So I think we're going to have a wonderful crowd, especially for the opening ceremonies. I think it'd be great to have national athletes, the provincial athletes all together, and their coaches and staff. I think it'll be just wonderful. I'm excited. originally was, I think, about $250,000. And it's still being fine-tuned now. So I know that we're trying to get it into final stages, but we don't have it yet. We're close, but not yet. Any other issues, concerns? If not, I thank you so much. For those who would like to volunteer to be engaged in this process, please go to the website. There is a button there you touch or push or in some way deal with, and it'll direct you to the volunteer site, because we do want to get volunteers, and I know a lot of people, once they start to get infected by this very positive set of games that we're going to have, I think they want to be there and take part and do their little bit. So we do need help. We're going to need a lot of help, and I certainly encourage you to volunteer and help us make these games the very best games ever,